to another Goggles 56 tutorial, and this time it's going to be on, I'm going to redo the one on, or update how I capture the ATS in order to make YouTube videos, and how I edit the YouTube videos with DaVinci Resolve. So first thing you need is OBS Studio, and that's a free one. I'll put a link in the description. And so, unfortunately, because we're catching the desktop, it's gonna, because I want to look at various things in the desktop, it's going to show this whole thing up here. But just pay attention to what's down below here in the bottom. And when you're using it, there's lots of videos out there on how to use it or how to set it up. So I suggest you get yourself familiar with it, because I'm not going to do one of those videos. I'm just going to show you what I do with settings. And so I've got two scenes over here. One's live stream and one's ATS. And they're both pretty much the same. So, and I can turn the display capture off and on by clicking right here in that lock. And so I'm doing a video of ATS. I don't have that enabled because we're just interested in the application, which is ATS right there. So that's a difference. But anyway, in settings, very briefly, the general is, pretty straightforward. We're not streaming, so don't need to worry about that. Output, not streaming. Go to recording, and I just have my encoder rate control because I have a pretty big video card. I put it at 60,000K, and then I have it set for quality, and the profile is high. So that's the way that's set. Pretty much all there is to it. Audio, I'm just doing it all on one track. In desktop audio and mic, that's it. That's all we're using. Audio, the desktop audio is my speakers for my Black Shark V2 Pro headset. Mic, same thing. Very basic. Video, we're recording at 2560x1440, which is my native resolution of my screen. I upscale the video after. I have it at FPS is at 60. Hotkeys is just page up, page down, and then the bracket keys to pause and resume. And I use those over on my Stream Deck, as you guys have seen in the videos. I'm always poking away at it, and that's about it. So those are the basic settings I use. It would work great. And so let's get on to looking at. So now and then you just tell it to record. Sorry, you got to give it a destination. So in your settings, you're going to tell it where to send the recordings. So output. Yeah, so I just have go to my F drive, OBS videos. That's it. Easy peasy. Cancel that. Just say okay. Get out of there. Now we got to go and open up our editing software, which is DaVinci Resolve. And so once you hit record to do your video, stop recording, it puts it where you're going to find it to go and do your video. So I'm going to start an untitled project. And so this is going to pop up. Here's DaVinci. You get all these buttons across the bottom: media, cut, edit, fusion, color, firelight, and deliver. I only use edit and deliver. Those are the only two buttons I use. And so this is the screen as I have it. I don't know what kind of magic it takes to make it look any different. I don't bother. The first thing we're going to do is go to File. We're going to Project Settings. And I have a preset that I'm going to set in here, because every time you do that, it comes up with this default thing, 1920 by 1080, 24 frames per second. So I click on these three little buttons up here, and I go Preferred Best ATS. And I'm going to load the preset. So what you can do, you can change all of this stuff to what you want to do, and then save it as a preset, like I have done here. And here, load preset. So I go to 3840 by 2160, which is 4K. Ultra HD, so I'm upscaling from my 2560 by 1440 to this. The only other thing I change is frame rate, 60 frames per second. Ignore all of this. It's just this change right here in this drop down. And this, you just highlight in here and type in what you want. And then you save it. So you could go here and you go save current settings as preset. And then it'll ask you, do you want to name it? And so this is what I named it. And then you load it. So once it's loaded, which is really weird, you don't get to X out. You say cancel, but it's going to keep those settings. So then you just go off and find your stuff to put in and edit. And since I did the last video, I've learned a few of the, keys and things and various, whatnots to do. So I'm going to go into OBS videos, and I'm going to show a video that unfortunately the video crashed. So we've got two parts to it. We're doing the Reformers. You'll have seen the video most likely. So I've set it to record in MP4. Or what it does is it takes the MKV, rather, is what I record in. I forgot to mention that. Shoot. Record in MKV, and then you automatically remix it to MP4. I guess I have to go back in and look at those settings. So I'll drag those two MP4s over there. And before this file gets too big, like you can go in and get rid of all these MKVs that you might have. There's a few videos in here I might want to keep. I've got to look at them yet. And this is just a little test. Grab zero length, and that will delete all those. And right click and shift delete, and see permanently deleted. We know we want to get rid of them, so they'll bypass the we'll cancel that one, and we'll just leave it at that. Good. So we've got our two videos there. Now the next thing we do, I have a thing called video files here somewhere, or something like that. Gotta find it. Video files. And in here is all the little things that I add into the video. This is all the stuff we're going to edit into the video to make it the way you see them when they pop up. So what we'll do now, just briefly, we'll run back in here, go to settings. Where was it? Was it video? There's one in here. General. Output. There's a place in here where you tell it to record video. Ah, shoot, there goes my phone. Oh man, I had to find it in there. Advanced. Should be recording. Buffer. Oh boy. Can't believe it. You tell I didn't research what oh, here, automatically remixed MP4 right there. So that's kind of important. And then in the settings somewhere in here, there's a thing where you decide what you're going to record it in. Someplace in here you set your MKV recording. Should be in here, I believe. Huh. MKV right there. Recording format. So yeah, recording format under output, and then advanced, and you go automatically remixed MP4 right there. Whew, found it. Oh, I'm such a train wreck. Okay, so let's go back to editing our video. So we've got all our stuff in here. All our elements are going to make a video. So what you do is you just left click and drag your first item in. And, oh, wait a minute, undo. We want to drag in our video introduction. So that for me is where? Right here. And so I use Place It, and it's a little thingy you can to make that intro. And there's videos out there on it, how you use it. So, and that's the length I have it. It's the way I want it. And that if I ran it, you'd see up here in this screen. You'll just see that old familiar intro. And so you just make all the stuff. It just takes minutes. It's really easy. Oh, I should put a link to Place It. Anyway, so back to the beginning. And now we've got our opening screens, and I make these with paint.net. And I've determined the length they need to be. So you see the numbers moving to the bottom? The one there's two numbers. There's an upper and a lower one. The lower one is the one I use, and I make this 210 right there. That's how long that's going to be. And then I grab my first patron and donor tile screen, and I make it 630 like that. And then I grab the next one and I put it here and I make it 630. So, oh, we had it. Come on, right there. Then we go over here and we right click it. Right click here, and we're going to add 120 frame cross dissolve. So that gives that nice blend. It's going to trim the clips, but that gives us that blend from one to the other. We can demonstrate that. Just go through here, and you'll just see a transition into that opening screen right about now. There, nice and soft. So then we go to the next one here, and we're going to 60 frame, and it's not going to trim the clips. So it just does a little cross dissolve. This one here is going to get the same 60 frame cross. And now we got to bring our videos in. So we got the first video, and we got all this dead space. That's me just sitting around waiting for. I like to run a nice little lead in case something weird happens. Because I used to try and time it. My first videos, you probably see they're all over the map. And when I tried to time it, it just makes a mess of it. So let's just grab this guy and move him to the other side of this. And you can see I grabbed the volume thing here, and I put it at 698 right there, because it's pretty close to where we're going to record our volume. Now, we go and grab the razor blade. We're going to go over here, and we're going to chop that right there and right here. And we're going to grab that button. And there may be better ways to do this, I don't know. But we're going to cut that out of there. Left click, shift, left click. Put those things together and bring them over here. Then we're going to go here, and we're going to go right click, add 120 frame cross. And it didn't trim the clips this time, which is, I guess, the way it works. And there's the beginning of our video. Now, we got to put in the tunes. So these tunes I get from what's it called? Artlist. So I pay for it. $6.98 once again, and we'll fast forward here to the end of the clip. Right there. And it'll fast forward to the first thing it finds. And because I had this, I'll show you. I had this, if I had left this down here and I fast forward, it's only going to go to here. That's why earlier I just dragged this over here. So when I fast forward, it goes right to the end without a bunch of extra clicking. Now we got to, oh, sorry, I should show you what I did there. I just grabbed the end of this. See, when you get the little brackets on it with the arrows in two directions, you can take it either way. I just grab it and I just move my mouse around and drag it down to the end. Come back. And I give it about, I don't know, about that much. You see there's a little, if you put this thing here and you see that little white dot show up and then you got an arrow on each side of it, drag that back, go to the other end, grab this in, and that ramps the music up. So we can bring our thing back here and you'll just hear the music fade down when we go here. Oh, hello everybody. Welcome to, and the music just dies out. So now we're going to take this, left click, highlight it, right click it, go copy. So that was a left click and then a right click. We go to the end of the video. We got all this. Oh, this is the one. Oh, shoot. You know what? Let's go all the way back here and just, I don't want that on my clipboard. We've got a broken video here to fix. This is where the crash happened. So when we trim this, I'm going to show you something funny here. We're going to bring the other video in right here. And we're going to just right click it and do the cross dissolve. Watch what happens this time. Trim clips. And watch, wait, look at the difference. There's a whole bunch here and a whole bunch here we want to get rid of. It goes this way. It doesn't take much out of this one at all. It heads off to the left. So Control Z will undo that. And we're going to do some clipping and trimming here. But we have to trim less off of this side than this side because it trims to the left for some reason. So we'll give it a, I don't know, about like that and that. And then we're going to go with the arrow and we'll hit the shift key so it selects all that. Right click, cut, click that, bring that over here. And before we join it together, we've got to make this 698 as well. So that when we adjust the main volume here, they are both getting adjusted from the same place, the same base. So now we can, oh, look at that. It didn't even trim that. So let's undo. I don't want so much lead in there. Let's take some of this out. And we'll cut. Grab this and this. Try that again. That'll work. Let's just see how that looks. The audio may sound a little funny because we haven't adjusted the volume yet. Oh no. Oh no. Well, oops, parking brakes are on. Okay, so there we go. That works. Now what we can do is go back to the beginning. Left click, right click. I guess I wonder if you can just right click. Yeah, of course you can. And we just hit that right arrow till we get to the end. Now we got this little tail at the end that I'm not going to worry about. And I know from experience that when I say bye for now, that's the bye and that's the for now, those little lines on there. So I want to drop this in right in the middle of it. So I right click and paste. Then I shift or control and up scroll wheel and I go backwards, or you go this way. I just control and move the mouse wheel up or away from me. And then I go up here and I grab my ending, which I also made from the stuff from Place It. And this is my ending thing that you see. And so what we're going to do here is just stick it there. So when you're dragging this stuff around, it's like it hits a magnet and just boom, it's on there. If you go too far, you're going to make a mess of things. So just until it takes hold with the magnet, you're going to right click it and go 120. Now watch what happens this time. See, it went left. It went into here and it took that little tail end thing off of there. That I didn't worry about it. And the only times I cut this out is if I'm at a site like one of those Plaster and Son sites and there's all the hammering and sawing and crap going on in the background, then I will cut that noise out. But as it is, this down here is going to overplay the end of that just fine. That's game noise, static, whatever. And now we've got that there. We've got the right side of it. We're going to drag it over till it lines up at the end. There we go. Now what we can do is put in our little, reminders. I don't like blabbing at people, like, subscribe, yada, yada, all that stuff. So these little things, my friend 80 or KAD Simulations made these for me, and I'm extremely grateful. I was trying to figure out how to do it, and I wasn't having much luck. So I put those in here. And you can find these things for free. That's what I was using initially, free ones. And then he saw them and went, dude, you need something better. And so if I'm going to just test it, I'll hit play. And you notice this is the sound. When I dragged it down here, it has its own sound thing. I just move it down, make it real quiet. And that's the little clicks you're going to hear. So then I hit that, test it. Around to the red sticker. That's how old that skin is. And this thing pops up. 2.5 years old or so, but so you can hear that little click. And so that's that. So this back end of the video is pretty good. The only thing we could really do here is, I know from experience that when I set this at 698 and this at 698, my volume sliders are, this is the game track, this is the music track at the beginning and end, and this is the master volume. See bus? That's both of them. So I'm going to take this one out and just move it just slightly down, right about there. This one comes down to about here, and they're going to be pretty close right there. I'll hit play. Take care. And I'm going to watch this for getting into the red. This one here. So move it up a bit till we see red. There's some bit red. Bring it down a bit till we just get out of the red. There we go. So that's volume set. Now we're going to go up here. We're going to jump to the middle of the video. And this is where we're going to put in the second one of those things. So this is a pretty good place to test it because we got right here a bunch of audio and stuff. We're going uphill. Truck's probably running hard. And I'm going to, I like to put the thing in after some, me yakking away or whatever, and then a little bit of silence. Yeah, me being quiet. When's that happen? Let me throw this thing down here. And once again, we're going to take that volume and just put it down till it's just barely audible. And we'll listen to see what we're talking about here. See if it makes sense to put anything here. And check and see what the elevations in this area compared to where we started out on the Texas border. What the elevation. Oh shoot, you know what? I was watching the video. I wasn't doing the audio. Yeah, you can't get good help. So what we're going to do, we're going to hit play. I think that's about as loud as it's going to get. So we're going to hit play and then jump over here and get on this guy and start moving him until we see some red and back him up. Be interesting to look at Google Earth and check and see what the elevations in this area compared to where we started out on the Texas border. What the elevation change is like. So that's going to work. We'll get into this next little bit here. We'll just give it one last look. I mean, this is the Assetto Corsa world here. I think we're okay right there. So then we go to put the first one in. So that's back near the beginning of the video. And I wonder what was going on right here. Oh, there's a nice break right there. See if we weren't talking about anything too goofy here. CLT the other way. CLT going the other way. See what we're talking about here. Creek Ranch. Oh, we get out on the roof and have a look around. How we can catch our breath. This is sort of a good place to put it. So we'll grab the first one, bring it in here. Now if you put it there, you see what happens. Everything goes away in your video and it chops it in half and it takes that video out. And another little tip, if you've seen, perhaps if you've been watching my videos, every now and then I say something wrong or whatever else and I'll put a shot over top of it. I just go to paint.net and I make like a PDN, paint.net image drawing, and I'll put some text on it that says, "Oh, my bad, I really meant to say this," whatever. And you save it as a TIFF, a .tiff. And when you save it as a TIFF, it's got a transparent background. And you would bring that in here. Like say, for example, let's just slide along here a little bit. Right here, I was blabbing away and I said something really stupid. And I need to fix it. So what I could do is I could grab that TIFF that says, "Oh man, don't listen to me, I'm a putz, and this is really what I meant to say." So you grab your little TIFF that has that on it and you put it right here. Excuse me. And it can be in the same plane as this because it's not sequential. if it was sequential, it'd have to be over top of it. And you can stack things up. Like you could, you know, put something else, see, above it. Above and below, you can have multiple things going on. But because it's concurrent, or congruent, or whatever you call it, it's sequential. It's not on top of this. You just put it in the same area down here, and that would be your fix. It would say, I'm sorry, my bad. But anyway, that's it. You know, we've gone through it. We've recorded a video. We've got it. It was a bad one that had an error in it, like a crash, and we managed to glue it all together. And that's the video. So I'll just show you the intro run here. Check the volumes one last time. Staying out of the red. You see all our slides blending in and out. Oh, hello everybody. And we saw the video trail, or the audio trailed off on the intro music with those little thingies there. And we'll go back to the beginning, and that's where we're going to hit, oh shoot, somebody's trying to get a hold of me. I can't see my dots down there because of it. I got that on the other screen. There we go. I have a second monitor over there on the right. So now we can see it. Good. So now what we got to do is we're going to hit the second button, the other one I use, which is the render. They call it deliver, but it's render. And you're going to see there's a bunch of presets up here, like, you know, a bunch of stuff going on, whatever. Here's kind of important, a couple things here. You want to scroll down here, depending on what you have going on and how you set this up. You want to put it into MP4 format right away. I leave the encoder at H.264, all that stuff, auto, and your settings are going to come in. The recording settings, frames per second in the 380, Ultra HD, you know, that's all stuff we set right at the beginning. And so you can check it here if you're worried about it. It took me a long time to figure all this out. My word. I was trying to get good information on it. People are saying, do this, do that. And I had a heck of a time getting videos to look any good at the beginning because I didn't have a clue. And that file and project settings thing is critical. Go there first, do that, set it the way if you want it the way I have it. If you don't want to go up to HD at 3840, just go your native resolution on your screen. Or if your native resolution is not great, you can upscale it to 2560 by 1440, which is 2K, which is what I did the vast majority of my videos on until the last couple months. But lately I've started upscaling them. And file, project settings, it's in there. And people say if you don't do this first, you can't go back and change it. Well, that's nonsense. When you do project settings or you forget to set it, and if I came in here and I dropped my video in to that window that this window, if I had brought my video in here and I didn't have that already changed, I would have to I'd have the option. It would say video or whatever has a different frame rate than the project settings. Do you want to change the project? And you say yes. It'll change the project to 60 frames per second to match OBS. Then you'll be reminded, oh crap, I didn't set the project settings. Now you can go into the project settings and you can open that up. And in here, it's going to say 60 because you changed it when prompted, but this will still need changing. So then you can go to your preferred one and load the preset, or you can just type it in. So and you got to hit cancel, which is counterintuitive. You really hope for an X. But anyway, that's kind of important that you can make the changes. You know, if you don't change this thing initially, and when you bring the video into that window, it's going to say, hey, dude, do you want to do this the way you got it, or do you want to change it? That's your trigger. that you're changing only the frames per second, go up there, grab that thing, and then go and change your screen size to resolution. Anyway, let's get back to rendering. So we got it. Is it still at MP4? Oh, where was that? Yep. So now we're going to give it a title. I'm going to call it, I just call it whatever. I usually change this after. ATS Old School Friday will work. And that's good. Now we're going to go add to render queue. Now it's going to say, well, dude, where do you want to put the video? Oh, yeah, right. We got to put the video someplace, don't we? So this is, I put it in Goggles 56, and it's going to go in there. We say OK. Now, Untitled Project Timeline 1, it's going to F Goggles 56 ATS Old School Friday MP4. And everything over here is good. 3840, 2160, Ultra HD, 60 frames per second. Golden. Hit render all. And that's it. It's going to take it a while to do it. This whole PC crunches pretty hard on this. So I'm going to end this video right now because I don't want to crash the PC with it doing too much. So as always, guys, take care. Thanks for following along, and bye for now.
I had no real good news.